I care about my Animal Crossing island. Not in the same way I care about a possession or project, but in the way I care about old birthday cards and photographs. This is significant because it might just be the only game that can make me feel this way without having a connection to nostalgia. I mean, sure, I played Wild World a fair amount, but New Horizons is a very different game, and the emotional weight it holds over me is unrelated to those past memories. Of course, it's not the only sandbox game I play. I've played a lot of Minecraft. Now, while I can enjoy the atmosphere of that game and sometimes will let myself get lost in escapism, focus on building a home or a community with friends, I never get attached to any specific world. Building is fun in Minecraft, and it's also fun to talk to friends or listen to podcasts while I do it. But what it is that I'm building, or what specific world file I'm playing on, is interchangeable. If the group I'm playing with wants to start a new save file to check out a new update, it's not an issue. There's a pride in a finished build, like that of a completed task, but I don't miss it when it's gone. I mean, maybe you do, that's just me. But speaking of sandbox games, The Sims is a series whose player base seems to have a lot of crossover with the player base of Animal Crossing, so does someone like me who enjoys Animal Crossing also enjoy The Sims? No, I mean, no offense if you do, I can see why people like it, but for me there's something very empty about The Sims. I don't know if I'm just not a fan of the visual style, or maybe the player's position of omnipotence over all the Sims is just ends up making me not really care about them. But despite the fact that Sims have the potential to be more complex and varied than the Animal Crossing villages, especially the ones in New Horizons, one of them could catch fire and I'd feel nothing, while the other could mention feeling ignored and it makes me feel terrible. Now there's an obvious reason for this. Cute things are a weakness of mine, and everything about Animal Crossing is designed around being as visually pleasant as possible. Adorable animal friends doing adorable things with little adorable homes and adorable music cues, and yeah. This is where I've got to define a bit more concretely what I'm talking about when I say I care about my Animal Crossing island. I am aware that cute things make me cry. That's just a thing, that's a thing about me, but I'm not talking about that sort of emotional reaction. I'm talking about a real, genuine emotional weight concerning my Animal Crossing game. It's a kind of joyous, peaceful melancholy. Okay, it's the feeling you get like if you've ever had a nice day with some friends, and maybe they go to get a drink, but you still have one that you haven't finished, so you just sit there for a little bit on your own, and you get to reflect on the nice day you've had. And then you start thinking about the friendship as a whole. Maybe you start thinking about where it's going, or how it's going to end someday. Not in a depressing way, but in a way that makes you value the nice day you've had just that little bit more. A brief reflective moment that you're probably going to forget as soon as they get back. This is the kind of feeling that Animal Crossing can emulate in me. Of course, not to such a degree as the real thing, but this last year especially, when those moments of togetherness have been so few and far between, it's helped me to clear my mind and put things in perspective, to accept the idea of living in the moment. How does it do this? Well, Animal Crossing runs in real time. Before I continue, let me tell you a story. The villagers in New Horizons aren't that colourful compared to their counterparts in previous installments. They have pretty bland personalities, is what I'm saying, so I just picked my villagers based on appearance. I got this cranky, rich lion called Elvis, and because I was thinking in purely superficial terms, I built a wall around his house and made this lovely pattern and dropped a stinky bit of trash outside his door. I then proceeded to never interact with him and never visit his house in the hope that it would make him move out sooner. I didn't quite understand how moving out worked in this one, but I even went so far as to never return a missing item to him, despite it meaning I had to carry it around in my inventory for multiple days. Then finally, I get the opportunity to ask him to leave, and it's great. It crosses my mind then that I'd never actually seen the inside of his house, so I head in and, just to say I have, and he hits me with this. And in one well-placed piece of generic New Horizons villager dialogue, this lion annihilated me. I spoke to him again. And suddenly I feel more guilty about my treatment of this digital stack of ovals than anything else I've ever done in my entire life. I'm exaggerating, of course, but I'm not joking when I say I felt really bad, and seeing him in boxes, watching him get ready to leave. But he's just reminiscing about the good times with me. Me! I know this speaks to new levels about how bland the villagers are in this game, but the fact that they will literally take the worst treatment possible from you and still have nothing but nice things to say when it's time to leave, well, that kind of just makes you feel like a hideous pile of trash. But knowing there was nothing I could do to change my mistake, I came to an odd acceptance of that fact, and became resolute that I would never treat any other villager that way again. It felt like genuine character growth on my part. And not only that, but it helped me realise why this game was capable of making me care so much about something so minor. Like I said, Animal Crossing runs in real time. But more than that, much more, in Animal Crossing, nothing lasts. In most games you can save, you can leave, you can pick up right where you left off and continue to repeat events and do things as much as you like until you get bored and stop. Always safe in the knowledge that if you want to come back, your save will still be there, the things that you made, the items you collected. I usually don't come back to, say, a Minecraft world once I stop playing it, but I might hold on to the save file, just so I know it's there, frozen in time should I ever want to. Animal Crossing doesn't let you do this. In Animal Crossing, villagers come and go, seasons pass, the fish and bugs, the NPCs you can encounter, they all rotate as the Earth does round the sun. Eventually you'll find your last fossil, and quite a long time later you'll catch your last new fish or bug or sea creature. You'll have all the paintings, all the items, you won't bother talking to Sable anymore or buying turnips, you won't play forever. You're going to stop and your town is going to stay there. Years will pass, and maybe you'll want to play again, but those thoughts will quickly vanish when you remember how long it's been. You don't want to delete your town, much like you hesitate to delete any save file, even if you never intend to return to it. But you also know that if you turn the game on, if you return to your island, it all becomes real. All that time that passed will have passed. Growing weeds and fossil holes, seashells littering the beaches, cockroaches and spam mail filling your home and your mailbox, alongside the monthly letters that your fictional mother never forgets to send. How can you ever feel attachment to a place that you abandoned so long ago, friends you left without ever saying goodbye? Once you stop playing, it can never be the same again. Melodrama aside, I know it's just a game and this might sound silly, but Animal Crossing, while constantly making you feel safe, happy, loved and calm, never stops reminding you that it's only temporary. And that's what gives it value. That's what makes you care. Just as you can't know light without the dark, how can you really appreciate a talking Animal Island life simulator about getting money for selling pocket fish? Unless you're reminded that one day it won't be there anymore. I've been Maybe Chrissy. Have a great weekend. Wow, it's been a really long time since I made a video, and this is what I come back with? What? I'm working on a much larger and more ambitious project about Better Call Saul that was meant to be my big comeback video. But recent lockdowns and, COVID have made filming that difficult, so I decided to get this smaller video out just to say that I'm not dead. I still want to do things here. It's just, it's been quite a year, hasn't it? YouTube won't let me use the community posts thing yet, so if you want updates on what I'm doing or when it's going to be finished, you can follow me on Twitter or join my Discord server. Both are in the description. Thank you for watching. Again, bye!